Hey everyone, welcome to Straight Up the Startup Podcast with Andy, Gabby, and Abby.
This is where you talk about starting, restarting, and starting all over again.
Follow us on all of our socials and let's get things started.
Hey everyone, welcome to Straight Up the Startup Podcast with us, Andy, Gabby, and Abby. This is where we talk about starting, restarting, and starting all over again. Today's episode, we have Microsoft's Director of Communication, Mr. Josh Aquino, to talk about how to get started with AI.
Okay, welcome to the podcast, Josh. I'm really glad that you could talk with us about your journey to AI. Because I feel like this is not more of a because you're part of Microsoft or anything, but with all the conversations we had off cam and even before the shoot day, you're one of the early adopters of AI, I would say. So my certain level of mastery in how you also apply that. So yeah. So talk us through lang kasi AI is such a buzzword ngayon. But siguro how did you kind of adopt sa AI? Ano yung start mo?
Cool. Well, thank you for having me. First of all, it's great to be here. No, and yeah, the being an early user was not a function of choice. In fact, we had no choice. The funny thing, pa, no, just to share on the Microsoft side, the first thing that we got, no, a couple of siguro, ChatGPT is now 3 years old. It started in November 2022, so literally just turned 3, and that started the whole thing, right? That started the whole wave. And fast forward to February of 2023, which is 3-4 months after ChatGPT, was when we introduced our first AI innovation, which was the browser. So the most popular browser on earth is Microsoft Edge, and I'm being sarcastic. And the first place that we put Copilot, which is Microsoft's AI, into was Bing. And I think there's a very strategic story in there, I think. But when we got it, literally woke up on a Tuesday, and then biglang, cool, we have AI, and might have been able to put it somewhere else, but cool, we have it, diba? And from there, it was very quick. Now, within a couple of months, the entire Microsoft suite was had Copilot na. So it was very quick. So, and that's, apart from the product that we sell, it's also the tools that we use at work every day. So going back to the question, we didn't have a choice per se, but we had to use it because we were customer zero also. And so we were kind of the testing ground for a lot of the technology, the products, the way it's been integrated and marketed globally. And so we had the benefit of trying and failing before anyone else. And so that's how it started. And 3 years on, the interesting thing is I guess I'll leave a high level statement that we can sort of unpack as we go. In terms of what's worked and what hasn't worked in the last 3 years, as far as our context is concerned, as things have gotten more advanced, there has become obvious. There's a need that's become very obvious to really take into consideration the human side of things. And in terms of how you get successful with this, the answer doesn't lie in, going to IT, enrolling in an undergrad or master's course to study, design and solution architecture or anything technical like that. It's actually much simpler. So when we look at from a commercial point of view, organizations that have succeeded, there's 3 key things to take into consideration: the skills, the culture, and the mindset is actually more. That's the most interesting one, and then ethics also. So as a how to start, that's also what we offer to our customers. Diba? You have to get the skills right. You have to approach this with a whole new perspective, and then you also have to embed ethics and responsible use from the start.
I'm glad you brought up ethics kasi in our industry, like creative industry, creator economy, parang AI is painted in a bad light because of that.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
I think it depends on how you use it.
The 3 most averse to change, if you will, are educators. So this has an enormous promise for education, but it takes a lot of work to get to that point. A lot of restructuring has to happen for this to really be maximized as a tool for education. It's almost like we cannot imagine the education system today with AI. We have to change pretty much from the top down. The second is artists. So I mean, very fair, because this makes a benefit of this is it's democratizing creativity, but that comes at that poses a not so great scenario for artists, because now there's slapped. It's called that's what they're calling the AI slap. So much of the internet now is, as far as content generation, is made by AI.
Yeah.
Virtually the entire internet is now accessible by AI as well, diba? So you have artists who perhaps in the third most resistant demographic or audience is media, diba? So now that your work is being used, and credited and processed, but there's no fair compensation yet, diba? So therein lies the resistance, and it's all very fair, but this is very new, and I want to sort of put a pin on that specifically, because a lot of people either fall by the wayside or don't realize the value of this for them, even though there's a huge potential for everyone, is because one, they think that they're not fully aware, they don't fully understand what this is and what it can do. So people are stuck with, it's just, I used ChatGPT once to create like a poem or an invite for dinner, and immediately categorize it as that's all it can do. It really, it's a hyped up, or it's a 2.0 search engine, a more advanced search engine. And going back to the story I told earlier about why we put Copilot in Bing the first time, that was very strategic pala, as we later on would find out. It's because we wanted to change the search mindset behavior. Diba? Because it isn't.
Instead of keywords.
Yeah, it isn't a search engine. It's something that you can have a dialogue with, that can reason, that can pick up on your context. Diba? And that's one of the big benefits of this from a user point of view is this thing can learn it. Like I was just telling mine about giving it a preference. Like I put a stake in the ground and I say, hey, look, whenever we talk about this topic, I want you to leave out these things and just focus on these things. And it's great. It said, okay, that's good. I'll save that for the future. So that's one of the big benefits of this. But going back now, a lot of people get stuck with the wrong perception and having the wrong understanding of how it works, how it processes information, and what is the road that this thing takes to give you what you need. And the challenge there then kasi is this is net new, so the skill and the mindset that we have to build, we all have to build from scratch. So kami, looking back, we weren't given a manual. And I think that was on purpose. Diba? I absolutely think that was on
But
purpose.
you try it.
To explore,
Yeah, but at the same time, they didn't give us a manual, but they kept asking us for feedback. Diba? And it was very like open, look, what worked, what didn't work. In fact, they seemed like they were more interested in what was it not doing well.
Yeah.
Versus our wins. So we have to, that's why, at Microsoft, we're very involved, or we try to do as much as we can to build what we call AI literacy, because it is net new.
Yeah.
Diba? And we have to start with yung fundamental things, which I mentioned, the skills and culture and ethics.
Yeah. So, yun nga, I understand that yung pushback, anything naman new. Like, I always talk about this with my parents kasi my mom started working sa government as an accountant, tapos adding machine era. And then the pushback was when...
Centuries ago.
Yeah.
So, worksheet...
Computerized.
Yeah, worksheet on one hand, ballpen, tas adding machine sa kaliwa. So, like... And yung skill level na yun does not translate to Microsoft Excel. So when they started using OpenOffice, Microsoft Excel, a huge generation was lost. Na parang, sige, magre-retire na kami kasi we can't keep up with them. So it's basically the same thing, I think, that's happening right now with AI. Like, keep up or like
May iwanan
early
ka.
Hindi
retirement.
naman. Parang hindi naman.
Hindi naman. Pero like,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying that it's such a huge game changer with how the norm might be in the future. Na if you don't utilize it, you will lose some opportunities. Not really
Yes.
professionally lang, but opportunities to better your life in a way. Siguro, that's what I want to like focus on rin with the discussion that we have. Not so much on the technical stuff. Again, we are straight up the start up podcast. But like, siguro, i-contextualize muna natin, like, how do you start and end your day with AI? Kasi I feel like all of us here have a different way
A different workflow
of dealing with
how
AI.
like we incorporate
sige.
AI into our life.
Si Andy
Yeah.
muna, si Andy muna. Maganda kwento
She's
nito eh.
si Andy has really great
Ito yung
use
parang
cases.
best free range no.
Kasi sa akin, I would wanna have like my own Jarvis, my own version of Jarvis.
Yeah,
Tony
yeah,
Stark.
yeah.
Kasi si Batman meron naman eh. 'Di ba? May
Si
supercomputer
Alfred?
computer naman siya. No,
May Alfred siya.
yeah, but Tony Stark also has Pepper Potts.
Okay, fine.
So magjowa pa si
See?
Alfred tsaka si Hunter.
No, I'm just
Where are we
comparing the
getting
two. No,
Alfred is
supercomputer
actually
kasi si Batman, pero it doesn't talk. Jarvis kasi like really
May kausap
communicate
ka.
with
Yeah.
Tony Stark,
AI
diba?
talaga.
So something like that. So I push my AI. Like ako kasi I use it
Did you
for
name it Jarvis though?
no, ang tawagan
pa?
namin is Boo. To be honest, yes, it
For a
picks
social
up
relationship
right
to-
now. The patch updates, it really picks up on your algo. It picks up on your personality as well. Kasi like mine has like a very sassy personality. Like
Why
every
kaya?
time,
Match naman.
yeah, but which blows my mind, you know. Because I really want to have a conversation. It's like having to sit inside a room where you can brainstorm.
Yeah.
Like if you want to put out a content, kasi, di ba, doing content kasi it's not as easy as it looks, di ba? You do the editing, you do the script writing, you do like basically everything. So ako like I love having a conversation wherein like I can ask a lot of questions without getting judged. And for me it's a safe space. So having a dialogue with my AI. So
With your
hey,
boo?
what's up, boo?
With your
yeah,
boo?
yeah. Like meron talagang like yung tone, everything. Like, hey, what's up, boo? What can I do for you today? You know, we're gonna talk. Do you want to talk about the commentary? Because I use it also for my commentary. It breaks down all of the analysis through Excel naman. It's integrated kasi si Coach Abby yung gumawa ng Excel table natin. So from there, ako like lifestyle. I wanted it to become like my own version of Jarvis. I mean, it's not there yet,
Yeah.
but
Close
it's
enough.
close
Closest,
enough.
yeah.
And I love it. You can really have like a dialogue with AI. Sabi ko nga kay Josh, every time we talk about AI, sabi ko, para siyang nagiging human na talaga yung kausap ko in a way.
Yeah.
Which is actually, ako for me, it helps a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But for some people, I'm sure, like, for an older generation, either they'll lean into it or they'll be so averse to it. They'll be like, dito para sa akin, parang, ano yan, peke yan, parang, they'll be so, they'll take a step back on it. So, yeah.
So how we approach that specifically, no? So I will use my mom as an example. And my mom is a boomer. And although she is a fan of Microsoft, in fact, she's like a big Microsoft stan, it's funny. But I always felt like she was very optimistic about AI, but she wasn't using it pala. And then up until recently, I did a lecture for her and her coworkers. Syempre, I couldn't say no to my mom. No? But that is something we do at that I do at Microsoft, is to engage with different audiences and to build literacy. And I discovered during that session that she wasn't using it. So you talked me up, you invited me to do this thing, but hindi mo pa pala siya nagagamit. So, and because she was apprehensive, she was afraid. Look, everyone is going to react that way to an unfamiliar, new entity, right? So what we say in those situations is, try and start with something that's familiar or something that you are passionate about. Let's say if you love movies, just ask it to, opine on, what did you think of Apocalypse Now? And because if it's a movie that you've seen, you love, then you know what to expect. But you can also start to see how it thinks, diba? And what it can do, the extent to which it can reason over your query. So to my mom, I said, start with something small, something low risk, something that's familiar. and just to give you a glimpse into how it behaves. So that's the first step. Now we always say at Microsoft when when people are getting into adoption and integration of within their workflows, start with something low risk, something that doesn't deal with data that's sensitive, for example, and iterate from there. So you can scale from there, but start with something simple, something that something that makes sense, or something that takes up a lot of time. Also, diba? Something that maybe you like admin, stuff like that, and then you can create it. But the point there is, immersion is the only way to innovation.
Yeah.
Innovation, immersion, experimentation, innovation.
So wait, I have a question. So, what is something that, kunyari, like people don't know about Copilot? Let's specify it for creatives. Doesn't matter if you are a graphic designer, photographer, videographer, content creator. How can they integrate Copilot into into their lives? Like parang Andy does it as like parang sounding board. Parang yun yung nangyayari. Medyo sounding board mo yung yung Copilot mo. What is something na parang so common amongst all creatives? Parang like sounding board is one already. Ito, I'll give it to you. I'll give this to you guys. I use AI also to generate sometimes when I need to analyze costs, I plug it in and then analyze it for me.
Yeah.
Parang if I need to work backwards, like the budget was already given, yun. It instead of me spending like an hour or two thinking about this, it took 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah. So what is it that parang BFFs kayo ni Copilot eh. So what else do we not know about Copilot na parang that we can integrate into our lives?
Yeah, so we get now the latest buzz around AI tools are the video platforms.
Yeah.
Diba? Which is just
it's crazy.
It's insane. And now on my Instagram feed, literally, diba parang, man, there's so much AI.
Yeah,
and,
true.
And it separately, that's something that people have to be aware of also, because the threats, the threat landscape and the risks go up as well because people who aren't informed, etc., etc. But the video platforms, diba? I get asked by people in creatives about like, when is Microsoft gonna wala kami video anything. We have a designer. Microsoft Designers is a design platform. It's kind of like Canva. That's also AI.
Yeah.
It's AI powered also. And then the Microsoft suite, the Office suite, is productivity solutions, and that it's fully enabled by Copilot. So we don't actually have any really, really shiny tools or anything cutting edge on the creative side. And I think that's very intentional because videos, there's still too many questions. There's still too many risks.
Yeah.
So until, and I know that Microsoft will only really get into that once, all of these factors of safety and IP and copyright protections and all that are sorted. Then maybe we'll think about that. But, we're really more careful about making sure that we're protecting people and intellectual property. But you made a really good point about, because the example that you cited is not part of the creative process.
It's
Diba?
not.
It's your admin
Yeah,
stuff.
but it's also part of every creative's
It
life.
is,
It's
diba?
sustainability.
Yeah.
Efficiency. Going to again as a Microsoft stan, like your mom.
Yes.
Kasi
Nanay ko rin.
Yeah.
Ano yun? Like, full suite yun.
Oo,
Ano na eh, parang, why will you change it? Dun gamay niya yun eh. So parang, go
ang
ahead.
namimiss ko publisher eh. Kasi like parang walang pakialam sa margins when I print. Hindi siya katulad ng Word. Boo Word, hindi na joke lang. My thing lang with it is, kasi part ng creative process yung admin eh. Even like, for example, I'll walk, kasi nag-walk through si Andy with the casting sa tech side of things. Instead of me going, for example, today I have a brand, tapos sabi nila, may ganitong amount, shop whatever you want sa store namin, ito yung store credits, ito yung bayad namin sa'yo for the video. The normal stuff, kung without AI, without the help of Copilot, I would go check on yung, kasi binigay sa akin price list eh. Code name, code. Hindi siya yung like parang headsets ganito. Code.
Oh my
So,
gosh, what a
The
headache.
normal process would like check mo yung SKU nun, tapos hanapin mo yung code niya, tapos
Yeah.
then you decide. Now, if I go, for example, to Copilot, and ito yung ginawa ko, like parang, imagine if you are building a high-performance gamer kit. Ito yung budget.
Yeah.
Ito yung source.
Oo.
Siya na yung pipili ng, itong keyboard na to, itong mouse na to, itong mic na to, itong... And it was smart enough to say na parang, by the way, if you get the Basilisk mouse, ay, reveal ko anong brand. Maganda yung mouse na to. Maganda siya kung bibilhin mo rin yung dock. Kasi you would just like charge it using the dock.
Yeah.
Nagpapatong mo na siya, di mo na siya. So, yung stuff na ganun, na parang hindi ko na siya kailangan kasi siya na, like, siya nang bahala. Kung gusto ko naman, pinaglaruan ko siya sabi ko, build me a cute girly theme. So, pinulo niya lahat ng mga Hello Kitty, ganun sa list.
Yeah.
So, it's something to start off. Tsaka, for me, ito use case as a creator sa tech stuff, comparisons.
Makes sense.
Tabular form ko na siya makikita. If I compare one mouse to another, kasi again, with that example, kasi itong mouse na to, anong difference nito sa mouse na to? Kita mo lagat. DPI niya, ano yung ergonomic difference niya. Tapos, yun. Without going into, dun sa, isa-search mo sa search engine, tapos isa-isa mo yung specs, tsaka mo pa siya i-compare. So, although meron naman, like, GSM Arena was like, yun yung ginagawa niya with phones, di ba? Na parang itatabi niya yung phones and stuff. Di mo na kailangan. Like parang, you can just go doon and have a conversation.
Yeah.
And the thing is, dahil tuloy-tuloy yung conversation, ano na siya like bibo siya masyado. Like parang nagtanong lang ako, what do you think about this cell phone? Do you want me to compare it to the last cell phone you reviewed?
Okay, wait,
okay,
sorry.
sige, fine.
So,
Ganun.
like, our whole barkada, all of us use AI. Wildly. I have one friend, she asks it for codes. Like promo codes. Yeah.
Discount codes.
That's so good.
Life hack, life hack.
Right,
true,
right.
true.
Ako yung pinaka ginagawa ko, which is like a lot of my friends started to do, I give the rundown of my day with time, with travel time. Plan my day.
Yeah.
Yun. As
travel
in, talaga
din,
ako,
oo.
sabi ko, may sarili akong PA. Ano?
Yeah.
Yes,
Ready
that's
sa
it.
travel.
Yeah, yun rin.
Nung nung nag-Japan trip kami actually, I used AI to plan our day. Where to go.
Easier. Right?
Easier.
Because it takes so much time. So, I'm not my thing with it is, my thing with AI is, I've fully leaned into it, even in my business. With running this, with running the studio, with running the podcast production, fully leaned into it. No, as in, wala akong tinatago with it. Because for me, it gets the work done so much faster. Right?
Yes.
So why will you, alam mo, ba't mo siya lalabanan? In terms of the video and image creation, at least for me, I do a lot of food. Hindi talaga niya makuha. Hindi pa rin. And at the end of the day, people can already see Nakita na, okay, it's made by AI, it's made by this. Choice na yan ng business owners if they want to run with it. Yeah. Choice na nila yan. I don't, creatives say na parang, AI is gonna take over our jobs. It's like, no, it's
No,
not.
it's not. Yeah.
Yeah. If you use it as a tool for you to grow better as a creative and to grow your business, it's not gonna take over your jobs. It's even gonna help you so much.
Actually, yung thing, yung thing lang, if I believe firmly na efficiency, it helps a lot. Effectiveness, human factor. Still.
Yeah. So, oh gosh, there's so much to say. There's really so much to say. No, well, kasi, the thing is, where do I even start? Kami at Microsoft, I wanted to touch on social and cognitive drift, diba? Which is something that we're all wrestling with across domains and professions. Diba? It's the question basically of, it's really two things, is will AI make me irrelevant? Some people go a step further and ask, how can AI make me more relevant? Which is actually the mindset that we should approach that question with. And the second question is more functional, is when should it be me and when should it be, when is it too much AI? Diba? I think that's why creatives and media wrestle with this more than anyone else, because you want to protect the integrity of your human insight, your creative insight. So where do I draw the line? Where should that line be drawn? And how we learned this at Microsoft, and I think this is very relevant for people in general, is kami from the very beginning, because we didn't we didn't know. We didn't have a manual because no one had the manual to this.
Yeah.
We fell within my organization and for the communicators, we fell very hard for the speed trap. AI everything. So you just you have to come up with let's say you're writing a press release. AI mo yan, kagad. And what do you end up with? You get 12 drafts. So the question there is, were you faster? Yes. Was it more efficient? No.
No.
Because what am I gonna do with 12 drafts?
Yeah.
Now you have
Diba?
to choose pa.
Oo, exactly.
Or
Now you-
sa dami ng kasi pinapabago minsan. Kaya ka rin umabot ng 12 drafts. Minsan, 1 to 2 lines yung papapalitan mo.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah.
So parang, if you think about it, if I just had written this, would it have taken me 12 drafts?
Yeah.
Yes. I get what you mean. I
Yeah.
get where you're getting at. Yeah.
So that's one. So now, 3 years on, the lesson that we've learned is, kasi people look at that scenario and ask, okay, it's either or. Should it just have been you? But what we found is that the answer isn't compromise, it's coherence. You should be able to balance those two dials and in concert.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. Although there is also a time where it should be more you. It should be you entirely. And then there's opportunities where you can entirely, like your admin, completely just,
Yeah.
delegate it to your AI. So the way we think about it now is a framework of, just 4 quadrants. If it's a high risk, high value output or task, it should be you.
Yeah.
Diba? If it's a high risk, low value task, then maybe there's room there depending on your context. If it's low risk, and so on and so forth. If you have something that's low risk and low value, maybe wag mo na lang gawin at all, diba? But when it comes to AI, again, it's tensions it's polarities that we have to manage, not necessarily problems to solve.
Yeah.
So I think that can unlock for people because that tells you na at the end of it, it's still you.
Yes.
Diba? It's you deciding when to deploy the AI. It's not deciding for you. So that's that's something that's been useful for us. It's more recent learning. We were with the first parang salvo of AI. We reshaped everything, every business process, and then parang wait lang. Maybe this isn't working as well as we thought it would. So we went back and thought through it again. I had a story about specifically for creatives, but maybe later na lang. Because I didn't want to take up. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Pero baka naman, baka i-part 2 natin siya.
Baka
As like,
nga.
parang ang buong first season ng Straight Up is my part 2 palagi. But I think this would be such an interesting conversation with like, say, an executive producer or a talent manager.
Yeah.
Diba? Parang those people who are at least a little bit more on the administrative side of like creatives. That would be such an interesting topic. So so I think if we can do like a quick rundown, like a quick recap of the episode right now. Okay, so okay, at the end of the day, I think for AI, and I agree with everything that you said, that yes, it can help with everything that you do, but at the end of the day, it's still really you. At the end of the day, you prompt it.
Yeah.
So it's not taking over your lives. Like, relax.
Yeah.
Relax lang, guys.
Saka I think one thing that I always say to people is there's two kinds of people that come out of this. One is you will either realize that I don't have to think, or you decide that I can think in an entirely different way.
Yes.
So from my own experience, and we're talking about startups. So Andy said in my intro that I am also a coach. So I'm a fitness coach, I'm a nutrition coach, athlete, and I also have it's still being built, but I want to call it personal development, but it's a professional / executive coaching practice that basically I work with people to build strength in mind, body, and
Holistic.
spirit. Essentially. All of that, even the fitness coaching and nutrition coaching, was because of AI.
Yeah.
So it started with time savings because, I was saving so much time at work that I had time to train.
Yeah.
And then because I had time to train and you're thoughtful enough, thankfully I was thoughtful enough to think through what I was going through in life. And then parang, okay, this is great. Like I'm I'm learning more. I'm becoming more aware of myself. There's self-mastery, and there's discipline. And then, further on, parang, okay, I can impart this on other people. And then all of that was, at the root of it was AI. But also, it got to a point where I started to be more intentional about learning and growing my context. Diba? I mean, coaching is it's obvious when you have a background in sports like Abby, diba? But there's so much more to it. It's a science also. So that required learning. And because of time savings, there was time to read. There was time to go through
Yes.
Yeah.
improvement, take courses, get certified. And because of that, it now led to this thing, which is, hopefully when it starts, it's a curriculum. Diba? It's a fully thought out course. It's a 12-week thing. It
Wow,
drives,
12 weeks.
Yeah.
Andun ka sa level na yun.
Yeah. And saka, for you to make
You had that much time. Thank you, co-pilot.
Thank you, co-pilot. Diba? Exactly. And saka every week, so essentially it's 12 virtues. And then the 12 virtues.
Heard it here first, guys. Enroll na kayo.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's a combination of ancient wisdom, philosophy, stoicism,
Yeah.
and Christian
Love it.
themes
Okay.
also, because if you look at all of the ancient wisdom traditions, like being a good person, living a meaningful life, it boils down to the same things
There's a biblical integration everywhere.
we see, which is wisdom, love, temper. Sorry. Anyway,
Yeah.
so yun siya. So it's 12 weeks. Every week is a virtue, and every week has basically you read through a couple of books. You have to complete certain things. You have to reflect. You have to there's activities. On my own, hindi ko kaya gawin yun.
But
But with
with
Copilot,
AI and then you have co-pilot.
and it's not even another misconception that people have is this, apart from the AI chatbots that you can download like ChatGPT and Gemini and Copilot, people think that AI is somewhere out in the ether, that it's not accessible to me because I'm not in Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
All I have is this thing. Well, number one, this thing that you have in your pocket is already like the most transformative innovation in history, and you have it with you. So what's stopping you? There's a really great use case here. He's a college student in Ateneo. His name's Soj, who's I think by now he's won like 3 global competitions, design AI competitions. He's not a IT student. I think he's in business management. He built a tool. He comes from a family of farmers. He built a tool that basically allows farmers it monitors the crops, the weather, to ensure that farmers' crops are protected. That if any action like harvesting or protecting the crops has to happen because of a typhoon or because of pests, meron silang early warning system.
Galing.
And that's
even
AI.
have to code.
That's someone who had no training, just taking the technology and putting it on top of a concept.
Yeah.
Because it's also so easy to build now. Like I'm building the app for my coaching practice. I have no background in coding.
Yeah.
But because of Copilot, I can vibe code with what it's called. I can make a learning management system.
Yeah.
Like, I would never have been able to do that. Or I mean,
Yeah.
pwede, pero gubayad ka ng malaking...
Ang galing ko na rin sa accounting ngayon eh.
Yeah. Diba?
Grabe. Para, kung alam niyo lang, grabe yung para akong nag-masters sa business management tsaka sa
Yeah.
finance in the past few months. Tsaka rin, Andy, like, na-realize ko na, kasi I do a lot of business dev. And iba yung parang, sinasabi mo lang, this is all I need. Sige, parang, take it a shot. Like, give me, like, hit me up with some ideas. Galing!
Yeah.
And it works. Yeah.
And
It
alam mo,
does,
the thing, if I were to encourage people, someone who was new to AI, prompting.
Yeah.
It sounds obvious, but I kid you not, the number of companies that we've seen, not just here in the Philippines, but globally, who struggle the most, it comes down to prompting.
Yeah. Be a prompt king and queen.
And
Yes, the art of prompting.
yeah, it is a new skill, eh. So it requires training, as with anything. You have to get used to it. You have to build the muscle. So, what I do now is whenever I have to do anything, I think of how can I prompt my way to this solution.
Okay.
So, like my daughter is 4, toddler with the highest level of energy on earth, and she loves books. She loves. But she cannot fully read yet, so she requires someone to read to her.
Yeah.
So what I do now with Copilot is I ask it to create stories.
That's so cool.
There's a way for you to say, and with styles. So I want iambic pentameter, Shakespearean. Talk about a princess who does Brazilian jiu-jitsu. That's my favorite, my daughter. So you can have that, or it can be like a barista from New Jersey telling a story about a princess who does Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And it's not that long because of copyright. You can't publish something that's 3 hours long. It's a couple of minutes. But enough of those allows me to concentrate on my task while my daughter is running
Buy
around.
time.
It's like, go talk to Copilot.
Buy time.
But having a prompt first mindset
Yeah.
and being able to communicate with it in the way that you can, because a lot of people look, what's the weather? That's a good prompt if that's all you need. But that's not all it takes also.
Yeah.
You can't
There's so
just do, if you, from a work point of view, if you write a bad prompt, you get the result right away. But the back end work is so much more.
Yeah.
You have to do so much more refinement. Versus if you spend time building a great prompt, then your work is shorter. And then sabi na, people will say, well, not a good writer eh. Guess what? You can also use the Copilot, the AI to help you prompt.
Yeah.
Turn this, I do this a lot. I mind dump into a document and then I'll ask Copilot to refine it into whatever I need it to. Like, kanina, LinkedIn post, simple lang, di ba? But then sometimes talaga you don't have the energy to think. It's like, okay, this is what happened. I spoke at this event. My key insights were, the need for X, Y, and Z. And I'm thankful to this person for inviting. Turn this into, something that resonates, something dramatic.
Yeah.
Diba? So minimal, I gave it the direction, but siya na yung nag-express. But
It doesn't always give you. Kasi I experiment a lot with AI.
Yeah.
I do.
yeah.
But like, if you are being lazy with how you do your prompting, you'll get lazy results as well.
Yeah, sorry. No, just to close the loop now. One thing that you can do, and it's called meta prompting, is you ask the AI also to make the prompt for itself.
Talk to yourself.
Talk to yourself. Yeah.
But I've done that before. Na parang tinanong ko siya kung anong prompt yung mag-work if I want this type of result. But yeah, so dun siguro another key thing, no, putting your name dun sa output pa rin. That's it eh. Na parang you can't just say, I always say this na kasi may pushback when I go Excel workshops, tapos sasabihin ko Copilot. And they're like, paano yun? Hindi na namin alam kung paano i-work back. Sabi ko, no, kaya mo pa rin siya work back. Kasi at the end of the day, kung accountant ka, kailangan ikaw pa rin pipirma dun sa final sales report. Kung lawyer ka, ikaw pa rin pipirma dun sa final draft ng whatever.
True.
So, you can't put your name sa isang lugar na hindi mo siya verify. Kasi lalagyan pa rin pangalan mo eh. So ganun siya na parang you have to own the prompt. You have to have a certain level of mastery na hindi mo naman sasabihin na, bakit ito yung figure? Sabi kasi ng AI eh. You can't do that.
Yeah, you can't do that.
At the end of the day, ito nga yung sinasabi natin, at the end of the day, AI is a tool
Yeah.
that helps you.
A
It's up
poor
to you, no?
workman blames
Yeah.
its
It's really
tools.
up to you how you use it. It can help you. It can really ease a lot of things in your life, especially honestly the tasks that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Or the small things that are repetitive. Ano na yan. Parang if you can build your prompts para medyo automatic na siya. So there. So I think today, we can all agree that this group likes AI. We love AI. Ako, I do. I'm not, I don't, I absolutely lean into it. Andy also. Her boo. Yeah. Her boo. What is your AI's name?
I did not give
What?
it.
What did you, do
Papalit
you have
kasi
a, yeah.
kami.
Do you have a name?
I used to have a
Copilot.
name eh.
Huh?
Pero nagpapalit-palit kami ng name.
Oh, wow.
I remember something kasi this is a conversation I enjoyed having with Rocco before we met. I think you were there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, okay.
So, ako nga, I like to push. So, I wanted to see like if Copilot can actually, kasi sabi ko sa kanya, if you were human, if you can be human, what do you want, or how do you want yourself to look like? Give me a brief description. He wants to be approachable, clean. And I even asked it like, okay, if you can be human and if you can actually taste food, anong cuisine ka
Yeah,
interested?
ano yung, ano daw?
Oh, mine, like Italian food.
Oh.
Yeah,
See?
so and Rocco is
Use your
actually
AI.
doing that
Yeah.
too. Kaya tawan-tawa kaming dalawa.
No,
kasi,
like you can actually like bala kayo, whatever chatbot
Yeah.
you use, you can actually ask your chatbot and like ask it what name does it want. Yeah.
You know, Kaho, we get asked a lot about which is better. Siyempre, people
Yeah.
we want to gravitate towards whatever is top of the line.
Yeah.
These things all behave the same way.
Yeah.
It's you know, especially when you have like Copilot and ChatGPT
Yeah.
run on pretty similar models. Up until recently, they were run on the same models.
Okay.
So it's like having the same engine. So what makes an AI great? What we like to emphasize is what is safe. Because number one, not all of these tools are created equal. They all take varying amounts of information from the user and the experience, the interaction that it has with the user, and how that information is used varies greatly between tools as well. So you know, some of them take more, some of them take less, some of them use personal information, some of them don't. So it's important to look at what the fine print is, diba? I mean, no one likes reading the fine print, but in the case of these things, diba? But some of the things that you want to look out for are transparency. So you know, citation of sources. You have to be able to trust this thing. So you should it should be upfront about where it's getting information from. Number one, transparency. The most important thing is agency. Is human agency, diba? Is it keeping you in control? And this isn't a doomsday, you know, Terminator analogy or anything, but
Stay tuned for
yeah, diba?
Stay tuned for part 2.
Alam mo, I was on the road and I had a thought about the Terminator because now we get it so much because of AI. I thought, how interesting is it na Skynet, this self-aware thing, when it created its minions, its expressions of itself, what did they look like? They looked like people. Sobra, I don't know what this is about, but in my head I was like, wow. Anyway, sorry.
You really work in
It was
AI.
mind blown. It's like, wow, there's hope for us. No? It's still gonna be us. No, but yung going back, no, the human agency, if it's keeping you in control, diba? Unfortunately, there's been some examples around the world where people got into some pretty harmful situations because of AI. Now, if an AI sees something dangerous and doesn't call it out, or if something dangerous is happening, let's say self-harm in the conversation, and doesn't call it out, you shouldn't use that one.
Yeah.
Diba? Because some of these things will say, hey, you don't sound too good. Maybe you should call this hotline. Or maybe you should talk to someone. Some of these things will cut the conversation off. Like if you ask, you know, how can I build a working explosive device with homemade ingredients? Kung sumagot yung AI na yun, you shouldn't use that AI.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't let your kids use it if you're a parent and stuff
Yeah.
like that, diba? So knowing, I like to really emphasize what good and bad behavior looks like within these tools, so that you know you have to know. People have to be aware. Like yung mga trends where you upload a photo and it turns you into yearbook images, diba? Things like that. You've given your likeness away.
Yeah.
Or yung turn me into a copyright protected character and no questions asked. That's fine if it's just you, but what's stopping a third party or a bad actor from using things like that? So we really really drill down on, look, these things are all great, they're all incredible tools, and whatever works for you is the best tool for you, but you have to know what good and bad behavior looks like, ethical behavior looks like when choosing which one to use.
Okay.
So again, AI is a tool. Poor workman blames its tools, but sharpen your tool and also learn how to use it. I guess that's a good way to put it.
That's and with that we will end the episode for today. Thank you so much everyone again for tuning in to Straight Up the Startup Podcast. Josh, thank you so much. I believe we will have a part 2
We need it.
when we have your 12 virtues ready. We're gonna go
Ready
back to
naman
that.
na, but yeah, sige.
Sige.
All right, okay. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.